and welcome back. Just finished the second test match now at the MCG, and what a test match that was by India. I'm really happy to see it. Being an Australian fan, 1-1, a bit of a kickback, a bit of a fight back from the Indians. A lot of people went against them, but geez, how good did they play? Let's start off with the Australian batting. It was probably some of the worst batting I've seen by an Australian team for a long time. I think it was the first time that there was not one Australian batsman that didn't get a 50 since 1977 or something in a test match, which is quite crazy. I think the positives of Cam Green, he's going to be a very good player. Bowls 140 kilometres an hour and can seriously bat. The opening partnership is a massive worry. Matthew Wade's batting quite well, but Joe Burns is struggling. I think he needs to be out. David Warner in the next test match, I think they're going to have a choice out of Marcus Harris or Will Pucovski, I'm hoping. And that might slide down Matthew Wade to number 5 or 6, and then Travis Head will be out of the side. That's what I'm thinking will happen next test match. Let's flip the side and go to India's batting. In my last video, I spoke about how much Ajinkya Rahane needed to stand up, and geez, didn't he stand up? That first knock was amazing. Border-Gavaskar said it was one of the greatest innings in India's history. Let's just put that into perspective. One of the Indian greats has just said that. I loved it. I thought he came out with really good intent. He's taken over the captaincy from Kohli, a lot of pressure on his hands. His team had just been knocked over by 36, and Rahane came out and did that. That was incredibly impressive, and it was fitting that he hit the winning runs. It was really good to see. Thought the other Indian batters were really good as well, other than probably Agarwal. I think they're a little bit too quick for him now. He's losing his bat, he's losing his hands a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if they think about changing him. But Shubman Gill, happy to see him. He's putting the attack back onto the Australian bowlers, and he's aggressive. He's got a nice technique, and another great find for India. Let's move on to Siraj and Bumrah. I love Siraj. How good did he bowl? He was amazing. I think he came out, he bowled fast, he swung the ball, he tried hard. He, especially to the Australian lower order, he started bowling bounces, getting them uncomfortable. And then how good's Bumrah? He just bowls, it's so awkward. He's run up a lot of the Australian batsmen talk about how awkward he is to face. He bowls 140 and swings them, and bowls all day and bowls consistently fast all day, which is really good to see as well. All their bowlers, and Ashwin very good again, but I think the big one that not many people have spoken about is Ravi Jadeja. He's massive, not only with the ball, but also with his batting and also with his fielding, because we saw how bad India's fielding was the first test match. He's one of the best fielders in the world, Jadeja. He doesn't drop catches, he fields well, he sets a good standard. His batting was really good, he was crucially batting to get that 50 odd that first innings. And his bowling is really good. Stump to stump, especially on the MCG wicket, a little bit more in it than usual. No sport this year on it. A little bit of spin, a little bit of bounce. I loved how India played their two spinners, and Jadeja and Ashwin, they just didn't leave the stumps. And people keep talking about why Australia's run rate is so poor. It's because you've got Jadeja and you've got Ashwin that bowl 40 overs plus, and they go for 1 and over. They go for 1.5 and over because Australia can't score. They've got men in front of the wicket. The only way Australia can score is if they get after them, but they don't want to do that at the moment because Joe Burns is getting out so early that Australia are in 2 for 20. Then Marnus is getting exposed to the newish ball, so Steve Smith, and he's struggling at the moment, especially against Ashwin. I just think it's great to see India kick back and fight back and win this test match. They did it dominantly as well. I was very confident that India would kick back and fight back, but not like that. I thought Australia would have been very hard to beat with, especially with their quicks, but they're batting something that they've really got to address.